Hail and welcome back to Dwarf Fortress Basics, or How to Dwarf. And this time we're actually going to cover a topic a slightly bit more complicated than a normal FAQ, but it's one of the more important ones, and that is uniforms for your military dwarves. Now, DFR includes 3 pre-built uniforms for a military to begin with, but they are very generic and suboptimal. And probably the entire reason why they are like this is because they are very quick setup. So let's go take a look. If we hit M for the military screen. Now, I don't have anything set up here because we are in our little test bed and teaching area fort. But we don't have to have anything really set up in order to play with the uniforms. So if we click N, here's the basic ones. We have a leather armor set, we have metal armor set, and we have an archer set. Now, the problem with these is they are very inspecific, except for leather one. The leather armor set is pretty much fine as is. The only thing that really needs to be changed about it is, let's see, individual choice melee, wrong. That will make a dwarf between skills and preferences choose what kind of weapon to use in melee. So if we need to change that. So let's do that. So we go over to capital W for a weapon. And now we got the weapon options, and we move to the right. Now we have full individual choice. We have individual choice melee or ranged. And then we get down to specific weapons that are coded into the game. Now, in theory, you should be making your uniforms based around weapon type, so you know exactly what damage you're sending out for all 10 of your dwarves in a squad. So, in this one, I would have it be leather armor plus warhammers. How about that? Awesome. Now, the other problem with this is they're going to choose the warhammer based on its value by default. So they're going to go for the prettiest, the shiniest, and the best made, in that order. So to help reduce some of the fluff of it, we need to set a material for it. And if you don't have a material for it, oh well. But you can adjust the uniform later as you get better quality metals. So let's hit capital M, and what type do we have? We have any two different. Oops, I did not. There we go. We have iron, silver, copper, bronze, steel, bismuth, bronze, adamantine. These are metals I'm not very familiar with, but I'm guessing they're divine metals. I've never actually come across them. But anyways, so for warhammers, silver is the best craftable material you have access to. The next one up would be platinum, in terms of, because warhammers deal damage on weight, and silver will be your densest material you have. However, steel for some reason has better critical hit chances. I don't know why. We'd have to find some science on it. So now this squad has silver warhammers. Now, this also, right here, needs changing. It's leather, shields, and bucklers. Again, a suboptimal choice. We'd actually want this to be strictly shields, because shields don't really slow you down any more than a buckler would, and the shields actually provide full protection for your dwarf, while the bucklers only provide partial. A shield, regardless of the type, will stop dragon fire if the damage rules dictate it. Whether it melts or not is a different story. So let's take a look. So let's take a look back at uniform. Let's see. Let's go back to metal armor. And now, leg wear. That is a very generic and catch-all. You want to delete that. Leg wear, you want to be greaves instead, because they could use leggings or they could use greaves. Greaves are the better. Same with footwear. You want those to be high boots instead of low boots or shoes. And handwear, I don't remember if there's any... Oh, there's gloves and mittens, but if they're made of metal, I don't think there's any other choice besides gauntlets. So we can let that pass. But yeah, but you always want the highest armor values. You can actually stack multiple layers of mail shirts and breastplates. Yeah, so that's a bit more advanced, and it's requiring of exploit of layer systems, but the more you do that, the slower your dwarf's going to get. And lastly is the parameter overclothing. That you want to change to replace clothing. And that is because armor, unlike normal clothes, doesn't degrade over time. And so if they're wearing the armor instead of the clothing, they're not going to get mood penalties for having tattered clothes, and they won't be considered naked. Right. Oh, one last thing. Exact matches. So that tells you how strict they have to adhere to the uniform. I usually keep it on exact matches. And then uniforms are assigned on a squad basis. So we have a militia. We would first need a militia commander and the nobles, which I'll do in a different tutorial. But actually, I'm just gonna have to do it real quick. Hold on. Let's see, militia commander, but who cares? Military. Create squad, and here's where you choose the uniform first and foremost. So let's go with metal armor. And it used to be okay. Right. If you go to equip, you can then set by squads or by individual dwarf what armor they are wearing, or what uniform they're wearing rather. But well, actually even all the way down to piecemeal stuff. But another thing I forgot to mention under the uniform setup, do not do what I just did here. Delete all but one entry when it comes to weapons, because there is a bug in the game where you can have a dwarf carrying a dozen weapons in a single hand, and he will attack all with them sequentially at massive penalties, and it's kind of hilarious. All right, so with that, have a good night, gentlemen and gentlewomen.